Okay, we're live. Welcome to homeroom at Fiveable. Except today we are doing a post-AP rant. I'm glad to see that we have a few people here. As you can see from the title up here, we're covering English and Capstone. I'm Brandon, and
I'm Samantha.
we're so hyped to be here with you today. So as you can see in that chat, our kind of plan for today is to start off with Lang and Lit and then move into Capstone. And we can kind of do like a Q&A where you can ask us questions about those 4 classes that are in today's stream, which you can check out in the poll section. Or you can just ask us about how our senior year is like going and stuff, because that'd be fun.
That is fun.
But yeah, this should be fun. Excited.
Yeah. So I don't know, just to kind of kick it off, I took Lang last year as a junior, and I took Lit this year, and I know Brandon took Lit, basically Lang as a junior, Lit as a senior. I personally do not have experience with Capstone just because my school doesn't offer it. I have read a few research papers though, so I kind of have an understanding of a final product, but I can't personally speak to that. But
yeah, I love Capstone. If you offer it, if your school offers it, like, cannot recommend it more. I think it had a reputation at my school that like it's like a GPA, like not the opposite of a booster. Like I can't think of the word right now.
Oh, like it'll tank it.
Yeah, it'll tank your GPA. A tanker. Sure. I don't think that's the word. But
that's how I always say it.
Not that bad. If you take Lang too, especially like as a junior, I think it's really intuitive because if you had to take the actual GPA killer, you have to take the exam. It's kind of difficult. Like my seminar teacher last year was so dang difficult. Like I did not enjoy that class as much as I should have, just because it was very like not like busy, but it was just a lot of stuff.
So can you explain to those of us that can't take seminar, like what exactly is seminar? Because I understand that research, you end up writing this gigantic paper, but what is seminar?
So seminar is a multidisciplinary course that basically teaches you like how to communicate, because there are 6 components of your final AP exam. You take the end of course exam, which is in May, and most students have had to, except for all of the people this year. Congratulations, you got to skip out on it. But basically you write a synthesis essay and you identify parts of an argument, like identify the main idea, the line of reasoning or whatever. That's like the physical exam, which is like an hour and a half. It's super great because you're with all of like your classmates and stuff. And like, it's just super chill. And then throughout the year you do 4 like tasks, I guess. Technically it's separated into 2, performance test 1, performance test 2. But the first task is a individual research report with a team multimedia presentation, where basically you present an issue from 4 different, how many members depends on how many different team members there are. But you look at what are called lenses. And so maybe one person will look at it from a political like perspective, one person will look at it from an economic, one person will look at it culturally. And so then you write an individual paper about your like that issue from that lens. And then at the end of the day, in the team multimedia presentation, you take all the different perspectives together. Or seminar really hates the word perspective. They like reserve it for later on. But lenses, you kind of incorporate all of these different like viewpoints into like a presentation. Then the IWA is the same thing, except it's just one paper, one person, and it's kind of like it goes into more of the perspectives part, which is like stakeholders and stuff, where you write a 2,000 word, not really a research paper, but kind of like an analysis of existing research, and then that's pretty much it. So like I talked about, actually Dylan and I both talked about gentrification last year, and you kind of have to present a solution that solves that issue and talk about limitations and implications and things like that. But that's kind of reserved for our last 25 minutes.
Sorry,
you're good. You're completely good.
Yeah, like, I don't have that option. I think I really would have been interested in seminar and or research, if my school offered it. And of course, those are the only 2 that you can't, quote unquote, self-study.
Right.
But I think it's a really cool thing. And, you know, being able to read people's research papers, it's just really fun. Like just the topics, like guys, like Brandon literally wrote his about milk and I laughed the entire 25 pages.
It was like a really fun research paper to write too, because like you can't self-study research because you need an AP Capstone teacher to enroll you in the, like your school has to be certified for AP Capstone as well. And I think the same might apply for art. So any any 2D art or studio art, 2D portfolio, 3D portfolio, and drawing. If you need that like digital portfolio submission thing, then you can't self-study it because you need an AP teacher who kind of does it.
Yeah, Perla, that's not a bad plan. Maybe that's something I should have looked into.
I'll talk about my research paper in the last half of today because
it's a very fun one.
But we're going to start off with inviting some friends who took AP Lang this year just to talk about your experience. It's sort of going to be like an interview. Not really. It'll be like really chill. We'll be like, hey, how'd your exam go? And then you can kind of rant because that's kind of the whole idea of today. So does anyone want to come up and get invited on the screen and talk about their experience taking AP Lang this year? Or even AP English Lit, that works too.
Yes, let's bring up Allie.
Heck yeah. Woohoo. And like I was like watching the prompts as they came in. We can invite 2 people. And it was just like so exciting for me because all of the topics were like political, and you know me, I love my politics. It was like a DNC speech. It was like a eulogy from the president to like a senator or something like that. But yeah.
So Brandon, did they have any like 18th century works, or were we a little far off on that one?
I think there was like one that was like you had to do like the appendix, like the foreword to a book about a dictionary. I don't know. It just seemed super
I heard the tea about that one where the author was like, there are 0 rhetorical devices in that one.
Yeah. All right.
That was not me.
Me too. Like, I love Gandhi. Okay. So, Perla and Allie, how are y'all doing? Like, how did you feel about Lang? Go ahead, either one of you.
Carla, you can go.
Can you guys hear me? Like, does it work?
Yeah.
Okay. For Lang, like my teacher, like at least personally, I felt kind of good with it because my teacher, like, he always went over the essays. Like, we didn't do anything other than the essays. So when they're like, it's an analysis essay, I was like, oh, thank goodness. Because if it would have been multiple choice, something like that, I think I would have failed.
Cool.
For my experience, we only did 1 rhetorical analysis paper in the first semester. And so when we found out that it was only going to be rhetorical analysis, every single week our teacher assigned at least 2 essays, which was good because it was practice, but it was bad because I had to spend my quarantine writing essays, and I was not in the mood for that. But like I was really hoping for a speech, which is what I got. But I was like, I didn't want a letter. I didn't want something super bland. I didn't want the dictionary. Because no. I got Barbara Jordan's keynote address. And it was such a like inspirational speech. Like if I wasn't writing a rhetorical analysis about that, I'd just be like, I wish I could be at that when she was saying the keynote. Very, very good speech. And overall, it was a fun exam. As I hate to say that, it was a pretty good exam.
So what was your setup? Like, how did you take the exam? Because I knew that was a big thing for me taking lit. So how did you guys end up doing that?
For me, like I had like a plan kind of like, see, I have a whiteboard at home. It's like pretty big, but it's like movable. So my plan was to like, because I was kind of interested. I couldn't write that well with my hand. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna use a whiteboard to make it easier for my life. And then I lost all my whiteboard markers like the morning of the exam. So I had to like just like redo everything on a piece of paper. So I was just like struggling to get my notebooks in 30 minutes to like try to figure out how I was gonna do it. So I just like took notes and like tried doing it from there, because like that ain't cool.
For me personally, I typed it. So like I had my Google Docs, and then I had 2 other tabs open with exemplar essays that I had written, because I was like, because sometimes you're just like, I forgot how to like analyze this, you know. And so I had that, and then I had the 5-book cram chart. Yes, it was great. Yes. I always usually like have this kind of like formulated plan in my head about how I want to write something. And so I was gonna do what Parla did and like have it all written out, but I just got so lazy before the exam, and I was just like, you know what, screw it. Let's just do it. Let's just go.
Sounds good. Well, and we got some fans of your hand motions there. I don't know. Like, I think it being online, did you prefer like typing rather than like the traditional like writing stuff? Like, how did you feel about the format, I guess?
I personally I love that it was online because I write way slower than I type. So I was able to write a heck of a lot more. And like I always feel like I'm out of time. So I was like, yes, I had so much time to write. And then I actually had time to reread it too. Because usually I just I'm like, screw it, it's over. Like I don't have time to read it. But I did. And then so it felt good. And then I was able to like talk out loud while I wrote, which was like really beneficial. Because I usually, you know, when you can't, like when you're in an actual test. So that was pretty good. Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah. I thought, you know, I loved it being online because, you know, when you're writing it out and like, because I'm the type of like writer that you write something out and then you have another good idea that pops in your head for that previous paragraph. So having the typing it on a Google Doc, it just allows you to like kind of organize your thoughts a lot better. And it just made it a lot simpler, I guess. And I didn't mind that it was only 45 minutes actually. You know, I thought it was pretty neat.
I would say like for the Englishes, it was really nice that it was like one essay online, because like the full AP Lang essay or like the full exam, it's kind of a lot to just go like back to back to back. I don't know. So I was kind of grateful that I didn't have to take the full lit exam, but maybe that's just me.
Me too. Like not having to analyze a poem. Oh my gosh. Good luck next
year. If they announced it was a poem instead of prose, I would have just I don't even know what I would have done.
I think I would have canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. I'll take it in college.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, like what was your impression of like the whole because I saw that only I think one person had to take like a makeup. Oh, 3 people have to take a makeup or accept an exam. I spoke too soon.
Wow.
So like, would you have, I don't know how to phrase this in a way that's like not kind of disrespectful to those who have to take a makeup, but are you like, would you have done as well as you did in May had you had to take the makeup exam, if that makes sense? Like if you had to delay it a few weeks, do you think it would have been better or worse or just the same? Like even if it was the same genre and stuff?
I feel like maybe I would do worse just because like by that I always said like my worst fear is like getting something. I'm so like grateful that it didn't happen, because my worst fear was like having something happen, because I was like I'm not gonna study, like I'm done with AP in May. I don't care if I have to retake it, like I know what I'm gonna know and I'm not gonna do anything afterwards. So I don't think I would have studied anymore or like a lot. So because you're already like in that mode kind of like you're in the zone of like all the AP week, and then afterwards like you're just done with it. So I feel bad, like honestly, like if you have to retake it, I'm so sorry, you're out of the zone now.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. I mean, I have to make up macro because I accidentally took a nap during the exam. But let's just be honest, I really didn't even review for it. So
Allie would be the one to sleep through an AP exam. Like that actually doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I relate though. Like, I love sleeping, so I get you.
Brandon, you don't know how to sleep.
I don't do AP exams. Yeah.
I kid you not, the night before the AP exam, like I binge watched till like 2 a.m. because I could not go to sleep. So I was from like 2 to like 10. I had not slept at all. So
yeah, no, it was my nap time. Like I just couldn't, like my circadian rhythm, no. And honestly, but if it was for like Lang, I wouldn't actually have been worried. I feel as if like writing to me is just, if it was a speech, I would be fine. But if let's say gave me a letter in the makeup, can I take that extra makeup exam? I would unplug my router real quick. I'm gonna be real honest. But I think it was, I think overall, like I can see a lot of exams, like calculus. If you had a makeup calculus, I feel sorry for you. But if it was like for psychology or art history, I wouldn't think that'd be so as bad. But then again, taking an extra exam when everybody else is chilling in summer, kind of whack.
I mean, it's also just the anxiety of it. Because, you know, like, I don't have, like, specifically test anxiety, so I really do feel for people that do, like, struggle with that. But, you know, just those 30 minutes leading up to the test, like you're just so nervous. Like, you don't want to do this. You kind of just, you want to take a nap. And so if I would have had to, like, do that again and, like, just grind for that 45 minutes again, I don't know that I'd be able to do it.
I agree.
I will say one thing though is that like I usually like normally I have like test anxiety like through the roof. Like I cannot like, but with online exams it didn't feel that bad because it felt like you were literally just like doing a worksheet or something for like 45 minutes. So it didn't feel like as bad. Like because I know last year I almost died before the exams, but this year it didn't feel that way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I'm just thinking about like half these exams, if I had taken the full test, I probably would fail. Because like, let's be honest, like psychology, I only went to the 5-hour cram and that's it. And I had the cram chart. That's all I had for psychology. But I'm just, and like, but there are some exams, like calc I would have been fine at, but I think it's kind of like this thing, like you would have had to take a 3-hour exam. And like, I don't know how I feel about that anymore. Like, I just feel like that's so old. And as much as I wish College Board had done a little bit of things differently, I don't mind the exams being online unless it's like a huge, huge thing for a lot of people. But I really did like the 45-minute exam when I thought I was going to hate it. So
that's great.
What if like one thing a lot of people were like talking about like, well, it's a short exam, maybe that's worse, but also like if they made it long, like despite like the cheating issues, if you would have had to take a 3-hour test twice, that would be really bad too. Like
no.
Yeah.
Like that I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, what's really funny is that, like, some of the exams were long. They just didn't give you time to actually do it. Like, the fact that, like, your math and science exams, I know this is not a math and science exam rant, but the fact that they had, like, 12 parts for 25 minutes, like, that's stressful. Like, that's long. That's not enough time. Like, you're grinding. And so, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Also, the fact that some people got screwed over from stats, I'm so sorry if that happened to you.
Don't even get me started. Don't even. You did not have to.
Did we already do STEM?
Yes, we did. I read about STEM yesterday too, and I spent like 10 minutes talking about macro, and I don't know, like that A through M, ridiculous. It's crazy.
It was A through M?
Yes, macro was A through M. And
Allie wouldn't know. He slept through it.
Do I have to unplug my router? Like.
Yeah, and then stats was 6 and 5, so 11 points total.
At least you like know in advance now, though. Like, you know, so that way you won't be like as surprised, like probably poor Brandon was over here.
Yeah.
No, because I took micro, and it's the exact same format. Like, it's like 2 FRQs. It's formulated this, but they were like, we're gonna tack on like 4 more parts for macro than micro, and I was like, all right, sounds good. And it was all math.
Well, but anyway. So like at least with our English APs, which is the point of this one, you know, at least they normally give you 40 minutes to write it in a normal setting. Yeah. So like really for these, we didn't get screwed over too badly. I would say the worst part was that you couldn't physically annotate it.
Yeah.
But you know, for me, I'm a really fast typer. So I was just really able to grind out like 800 words within like 20 minutes. And so that way I could kind of read through it. I could kind of strengthen my arguments, add in some stuff. So that was really, really helpful for me personally. So I didn't mind it in that regard. Yeah, no, I do really wish that, because AP Classroom, like, let you in. It was terrible. The system in AP Classroom sucked, but it existed. So that was better than just nothing at all. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you two so much for coming up and talking about your experiences. We really appreciate it. Let's see if we can try and get a few others in here. So thanks for coming, y'all. We might pull you up later for seminar, Ollie. So.
Oh, I have a lot to say about that.
All right. So I saw that 2 people answered who took lit, but I'm assuming one of them is Samantha. So does anyone want to talk about their experience with AP Lit? I have about like 15 minutes or so. Oh, cool. Sounds great. Tygus, do you want to come up and talk about Lit? If you don't want to, that's okay, because you came up yesterday. That was great.
Okay, yeah, come on up. Join us. Yeah. We can all rant. Brandon knows that I'm still mad at him for something that isn't even his fault, but I'm still mad about it.
I'm living life. Okay, I'll just say that I got the bad luck of the draw on stats and the good luck of the draw for Lit. Hi. How are you doing?
Good. How are y'all?
That's good.
We're good.
Fine. Yeah.
So, obviously we all like talked about prompts immediately after, and Brandon was like, yeah, mine was written in 2019. And I was like, what? Mine was written in 1819.
Did I forget to look at the date? I really don't even remember. Oh,
okay. But yeah, I just remember being really mad that we had a 200-year difference in our prompt.
Yeah. Mine was like pretty recent though. It wasn't like way back.
Yeah, it felt like a lot of them were recent. My prompt, I don't know who was asking. Mine was literally, I found it difficult just because it was just introducing characters. There was no plot. There was no dialogue. Really? So there were no actions. So I can't I could do like says, does, so what, because nothing happened.
Mine was the complete opposite. Like they gave me so much dialogue, and I didn't really practice dialogue before. It was like the complete opposite, and it was like it was analyze the relationship with these 2 characters, but it was only one character like talking. So I was like, yeah, what? And
that's really helpful.
He was his professor, but he was saying things like homie, like he was just saying stuff like prof. He was calling his professor prof. I was like, oh, okay, they must be familiar. Like I didn't do horrible, but out of all my APs, Lit was my worst. Like, and yeah, I just forgot to mention some of my evidence. There was one evidence that I'm so mad I just forgot.
Oh.
It was with the syntax. Like the author purposely didn't like capitalize, and like the grammar was wrong, but I didn't say that. I was so mad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you run out of time, or were you just like not?
I just got
like
overwhelmed.
organized?
When you're writing, you just kind of like there was just so much evidence, and then the time was ticking, and I couldn't stop. It's just like if they gave me an hour, it would have been such a better essay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Like our prompts were so different. Like mine was like one character, like it was like the complex characteristics of them, and I was like, okay, I guess I have to make up my own characteristics. And I was like, I had to like try and do like the yet and stuff, and I was like, I don't know how to make them like seem contradictory but true at the same time. But like once again, like technically it was set in the 1920s, but all of like the writing was very modern and stuff. So I was like, I don't know.
I mean, there was straight up like a paragraph where I didn't really understand what was happening just because of the vocabulary. And I know that technically I could have Googled vocabulary, but it didn't feel like good use of my time. And I think my prompt was to like analyze the complex relationships, which again was difficult when but it was difficult when the characters didn't really interact with each other. So you really had to like make inferences based off of their character traits, which was just like really, I thought I did okay.
Yeah, I think I did okay too, but I could have done better, I just didn't feel like it was strong.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be graded differently per test. Like I think per prompt is how they'll decide points, because like I just don't foresee them being like for like a 5 or like this is like completely me speculating. So like please don't think that I'm telling like the truth here. I don't think that a 6 out of 6 is the only way you can get a 5.
Oh
I think so I think
but it's like it's also hard to justify like a 3 out of 6 or a 4 out of 6 being a 5. So that's kind of because it's only on a 6-point scale. That's where it's really so difficult.
Yeah. It's really hard. How are you gonna divide? Well, some people are just thinking like a certain point. It's some people were just trying to like theorize point. You know what I mean?
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
But like who knows at that point?
Right.
Because
Because I don't think it's incredibly difficult to get a 4 out of 6 if you can use good evidence and stuff, because that still gives you a little bit of room for error. And so for that to be a 4, I feel like is fair, because a 4 will give you college credit at most, if not all schools. And it still gives you some room for error. They're not expecting you to write a perfect essay. Yeah. So and of course they won't tell us what our actual score is, so we really will never actually know.
Of course.
Did y'all aim for complexity? I know when I was writing, I was like, no, I have no time for complexity. So I was just trying to like get everything in at first.
I never purposefully think about how I can incorporate complexity, if that makes sense. Yeah. I think I just write, and I just hope that I impress somebody with my tone. That's my philosophy.
I didn't even write a conclusion, because you know how like some people are like have a theme in there, like at the intro conclusion. I didn't. I just tried to like get commentary and evidence, because I just didn't have time for that. So I was just like, oh, because I know like you don't have to get the complexity point in order to get a 5 or a 4. So I was just like, forget it. No.
Exactly. And you don't need a conclusion either.
Yeah, you don't need it either. So yeah. I don't know. It was fine, but I just had trouble with annotating. I think that was just the biggest thing with everyone too.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I would have liked to have printed it, but my printer personally takes like 5 years to print something. It's on the opposite side of my house. And also I had seen from somebody else who had tried to print a prompt that the spacing was entirely like not correct. Like the formatting of the page made it incredibly difficult, and I didn't want to waste my time. So I just did a split screen and I typed it and then copy and pasted it. And it worked for me. So I'm happy about that. Yeah.
What was interesting was also like, you know how they didn't add the line number and like stuff like that to cite it. Yeah. And I kind of got lost. I was, trying to figure out where my evidence was, and then I kept scanning it, and I don't know why I couldn't find it. But
I would kind of like make a note to myself, like, oh, second paragraph, and then like the quote. So I kind of knew the general region of where to look.
Mine was not paragraphs. That's why it was so hard, because it was just all dialogue. So it was just kind of like, I was so confused. Oh well. I just hope I have an easy exam grader,
Right.
Right. Can I talk to you now? Or you
I want something. Oh, sorry, that's my brother.
Oh, good.
I think Brandon is muted.
Yeah, Brandon is just doing something else. Apparently, he doesn't really want to talk about lit.
Oh,
he says he can't unmute. Brandon is struggling with his muting ability.
I was wondering, because it looked like he wanted to talk, and I was just like,
So that's not ideal.
Can you believe we didn't have to like analyze any poem or anything though? Because I was actually expecting a poem at first for lit. I was really shocked.
Well, when they said it was going to be one, like when they announced it was online and they said it was going to be one essay, I was like, I swear to God, if it is a poetry one, I am not. I was like, that's not going to be good. Okay, woo! Brandon is unmuted.
I was like sitting here spamming the unmute button, and I was like, I didn't even press the mute button, and I was just so confused.
That is weird.
But yeah, I completely share in y'all's sentiments. Like, I need like these AP Lit teachers who are like sitting at home chilling and grading to be like really nice, please. I heard that sometimes they're mean, like they're a little bit more aggressive on their essays because like the room where they grade is super cold. And of course, so I'm like, maybe this year, they're like
since
in
they'll be at home
environment. Yeah. Come on.
Yes, please, Miss Moore. I really hope Candace Moore is an AP reader and that she reads my essay.
No, she's an amazing teacher, though. Like she helps me so.
I love her.
Like, oh my goodness, I have to thank her. Her classes are amazing.
Yeah, and it's just like it's hard because by the time we had left school, when school was out, like we had left for spring break and then they had announced that like no more school. We had done like a half of a multiple choice practice, but we hadn't done any formal essay writing in class. So it was just, I don't know, it was just like we did a few AP classroom practices, but it wasn't the same. It was just really weird.
Yeah. I get you.
Brandon is muted again.
Hello?
Okay,
I'm
here we are.
like,
here we are.
I don't know. We might be switching platforms someday. I just like I'm not even joking. Like I randomly like I just see the mute icon and I'm like, what is going on? But yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that like I just don't think that there were so many kids that did like I don't even know where my train of thought is here. But like you know how College Board said that there's like no curve?
Yeah.
There's no like minimum or maximum number of kids. I don't really know what that means. So I'm just kind of like most of the schools, I think, well, I forgot I already committed to a school, but I have to get a 4 or up on this test to get credit. And I'm just
I do
like,
as well.
Come on.
Yeah. No, the other funny thing is that I kind of feel played for all the books I had to read because I didn't have to use them on the third essay. And like most of the books I enjoyed reading 1984 and Frankenstein, but most of the books like Their Eyes Were Watching God and Ethan Frome, I could have done without.
Yeah. No,
So,
let me tell you what happened with me. So like I'm kind of self-studying for this. Well, like I took the course with my school, but my teacher, like he got fired in the beginning of the year, so there was just period.
Man.
And then a new teacher replaced him like after a while, but she was just teaching us grammar, and I'm like, this is not AP Lit. I'm sure you're not teaching us AP Lit. And like, you know, like the whole situation happened, so I was just figuring out, you know, what to do, and I was just reading books by myself. And I thought it was either going to be, you know, the book essay or the poem essay, so that's what I was, you know, trying to go for. I just have like a bunch of books in my room, and I was just binge reading basically. I was binge reading everything 1984. Their Eyes Are Watching God, and then when they said it wasn't going to be book essay, I was so mad because for that whole period I was reading so hard, but I was so sad.
That would be really frustrating.
Yeah, at least it got me to read books again because, you know, lit.
Most of them are good books, you know.
Yeah, they are.
The ones I listed were ones that I didn't particularly enjoy. I don't know.
Really? Which ones did you actually enjoy?
I really liked Frankenstein. That's one of my favorites.
I didn't get to read that one. I have it, but I just didn't get to read it.
I would highly recommend it.
It's a good book.
Yeah.
I think Their Eyes Were Watching God was not that bad. It was interesting, you know. It was a little bit short.
I didn't like it. Personally, I can't get through it. I really struggled with that one.
The dialect was, it was actually kind of weird to like.
It was. You know, my teacher was, for those of you that don't know, Their Eyes Were Watching God is really like a black Southern dialect kind of thing. And so it's harder to read, but my teacher was like, oh, it helps if you read it out loud to hear it. It was kind of strange to like be sitting in the library and just like speaking that out loud.
Yeah, I got like every single thing unexpectedly. Like I've never read dialect books, except for this one. But then I understood everything. But it was this one word, and I never understood it until like afterwards. I searched it up. I found out. I was like, wow. And I could have got it too. But yeah, I think I liked Lit overall. I feel like I'm taking things backwards because I'm taking Lit before Lang, and then next year I have Lang.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
I think you'll find Lang to be easier.
Really? A lot of people say that.
Yeah, because I think
love Lang.
Yeah, most people take Lang as a junior and Lit as a senior. Obviously, there's no rules that you have to do that. But Lang is really just a watered down version of Lit, in my opinion.
Watered down version.
Yeah, because it's very, very similar. I mean, the exam format is almost exactly the same. But it's nonfiction instead of fiction, essentially.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did y'all like miss the multiple choice section from Lit? Like,
no,
I didn't miss it. No, I was so bad at it.
I don't know. I think it was all right, but I just didn't like the poems.
Yeah. Very grateful I did not have to write an essay about a poem.
Yeah. You know, I actually didn't mind the online test. It was only for Lit that I kind of struggled. It's just kind of like the annotating. So if they continue it, you know, it's not bad, I guess. But it's just because they would obviously improve it. But I feel like they would change.
They would hopefully improve it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have to, like, with the whole lawsuit.
We never know with College Board anymore, let's be honest.
Right. I just got, like, the makeup email. Like an hour or two ago.
Which one do you have to make up?
I have to make up APUSH.
Oh, that sucks.
I know. And I just
That's a
have
hard one
no
to have to
motivation.
redo. Yeah.
I don't want to study. It's just like I've studied
Yeah, I
for
don't
so
blame you.
long. Yeah, just
Yeah.
man. And it's just so much material to study all over again. You know, I don't
Oh
want
yeah. No,
Right.
APUSH is really, really content heavy.
Mm-hmm. And then my friend and I were just like theorizing. We're like, are they gonna purposely make the makeup easier or harder? Just I was just wondering.
Right.
So
Yeah,
thank
no,
you.
that's a really solid question too. Yeah, so
Who knows? Honestly, but yeah, like I couldn't reiterate it more. Like you're gonna do well. Like don't worry about it.
Well, thank you. Thanks, guys.
you got it. You got it.
Thank you.
Like I don't know. I feel like I don't think they're gonna make the makeups like significantly more. I don't know. I've heard rumors.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like I took the APUSH makeup last year because of a storm that like forced us to move it to like the second to last week of school, and I like did not prepare as much as I should have. So like when I got all of those short answer questions that were, I just like never thought they would be that difficult because it was like name an event between 1940 and 1958, and I was like World War II, but then like I don't know, it was really weird. I really didn't like my APUSH question. Once again, history was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right.
You'll do great.
I'm just excited. I'm excited to see my scores, like even if they're gonna be horrible. You know, like the moment before you click to see them. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I don't even want to look.
Really?
I'm just like I look at one score at a time just for dramatic effect. It's super fun.
I don't even
Really?
want
Oh,
to look.
I have to do that too.
Yeah. I have like a
But
tradition with friends that we all check our AP scores at the same time on a call.
Although I do love watching like AP score reactions.
Uh-huh.
You know, to like really be like, I'm probably gonna get a 1 on psych, and then like watching them get a 1 on psych. It's just really funny to me for some reason.
They're very stress relieving. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
they're really cool. But I feel like mine are probably gonna be like until July, because they said they're gonna like score them later or something like that. I don't know what they're
right. I think makeups and the exception testing will get like delayed or whatever. Yeah.
That's so dumb because they haven't even started grading ours yet. Although our teachers have them. None of this whole process makes sense to me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I thought they did start grading them like right after.
Like no, they don't grade them until like June.
They wait.
Because my AP bio teacher is a reader, so she would talk about they always go to June for a week and just grade like AP bio FRQs. But it's always in the summer because teachers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thanks, Harrison.
That's fun.
Very helpful information in the chat.
Insider information.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I just found out? That there's stats people with College Board, like after the AP graders, they grade it and then they send it to the stats people, and then they try to figure out which points get 5, 4, and 3. I didn't know they did that.
Oh yeah. Yep. They do. They make, and I think it's like for some classes it's just like, oh, this is the bar we set. This is the bar, and so that should be fun. That's something that I would work out probably. Like just for fun.
The only reason I follow Trevor Packer on Twitter is because he would always tweets it 2 weeks before and he'll say this is like the score distribution for each exam. Because I remember like looking at AP Bio and it was like 9% got 5s and I was like, oh.
I think that would give me anxiety. I don't think I would do that.
I really hope he posts the score distributions again. They're always really fun to look at, and I really want to see. I want to see all of the new information for this year's exams.
Right.
Yeah, surprisingly he answers. Yeah, he answers. I tweeted at him on Twitter. Not tweeted, like kind of DM'd. I don't know. I'm new to Twitter, guys. Forgive me. But yeah, I did that, and he answered actually. So I was like,
oh really?
Yeah. But it was emergency. I was like, I need your help. I don't know if it's submitted. He was like, yeah, it did.
Oh, okay.
That's really cool.
That's good.
Woohoo. All right. Well, I think we're going to segue into Capstone, but thank you so much for coming 2 days in a row.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Bye.
Right. See ya.
Good luck with APUSH.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So we've left like the last 20 minutes or so for seminar and research. Does anyone want to come up and talk and rant? I know
I would love to hear about all of your research papers if you guys have some.
Yes. I really want to see how you and before someone comes up, I forgot to add that how the second research paper works for seminar is that they give you what's called like a stimulus packet. A stimulus packet? I almost called it a stimulus package. But basically it's like we love that.
Corona has really ruined us.
Yeah, I literally and basically they give you like 5 pieces of like writing, or like last year there was a TED Talk, and I think
that's cool though.
Like that. And so basically you incorporate media, like outside sources, kind of. You incorporate sources that College Board says you incorporate in your paper. Yeah, I want that $1,200 check. Especially
they're a nonprofit, you guys. They don't have the money.
Yeah. And so like it's like always a tough essay to read and to write. You know, I'm gonna go on a tangent. Like that CEO gets like $1.8 million, and I think that's insane. Like that's so much money. Why do you need that much money? What are you gonna put it towards? Our economy? No.
No. Absolutely not. Eat the rich.
I'm really dissing
like who even is the CEO?
They should give it back to us, I agree. But I don't know.
The fact that they charge that much per exam. Like I know that they have like, you know, they can waive the fees for people who need it. And I know that some states pay for it. My state does not. Like I've legitimately paid, I've taken a total of 6 exams, and my parents have just paid $600 for me to take these exams. Like I'm lucky that, you know, like my parents can afford that, but that's not realistic for a lot of people. So I don't know.
He is not going to spend it on and oh yeah, consumer spending does stimulate the economy, but it increases.
This is not. We are in English in Capstone.
You know,
I'm not a fan.
There is an economic lens in the IRR, so I will give that exception. So, yeah, is anyone here in research? I forgot to check that poll. I don't think so. Oh, one per.
It said 1 or 2, right?
I think there's one person here in AP Research.
Oh, one in research?
Do you want to come up, person? I don't know who it is because our polls are anonymous. But if not, we can talk about milk.
Yes. That was so funny.
It was such a fun paper. Like if you got to read it.
Yeah, like I legitimately so Brandon gave me his paper to look at, and he wrote it about like milk in schools, and I was like, Brandon, what is this? And like multiple times throughout reading that, I would message him just laughing at like something he had written. I don't know, and it was just like also really funny to me that you went to an elementary school and surveyed the kids, and that you were like, the kids were talking to each other, so they swayed each other's results.
It was fun. I really and like it was like I could have done this in so many better ways now that I'm thinking. Like I could have run like a t-test, or I could have done like actual statistical analysis, but like I didn't, and I don't know why I didn't. But you know what? It's whatever. Like I got data, and the data disproves whatever all of the milk lobbyists. Anyways, I should probably like kind of give context to this too, right?
Well, but what was also really funny is that like today actually, like I drank soy milk, and my sister like made a joke of like, why is Michael Phelps on our carton of milk? And I was like, Brandon. Like it's just like really funny to me. Like you made a good point.
I was just mad. Like, so basically how my AP research class worked was that in the first 2 weeks, we kind of just like filled a Google Doc of ideas that we were interested in. And one of mine was like government lobbying. And I was like, government lobbying is pretty crazy. Where does it exist? And one of the places it exists is our schools. And I was like, this is crazy, because like I thought back to like elementary school, and I think I explain this story every single time, but like no one goes home on the weekends and drinks milk while they eat lunch. No one drinks milk while they eat dinner. So why on earth do we drink milk with our burgers and pizza like at school? It doesn't make sense. And I was like, if that doesn't make sense, that's what I should write my research paper about. And so then I developed an intolerance to lactose like literally in 7th or 8th grade. It was crazy. Like, and I didn't realize it until like, I was like, shoot, I don't feel good after drinking milk. I wonder why. And so like I stopped getting milk in high school, but then it costs more to get water than to get milk. Or like you can drink out of the water fountains, but of course, like there's always a weird taste at my school. It's like metallic. And in general, like milk is just, I don't know, it's like it's just there. It's a drink. And so from there, I was like, let me just ask some kids what they think about milk. And I was like, maybe in some scenario where milk and like drink alternatives were priced the same, kids wouldn't choose milk. And that was that was pretty much right. Like kids don't like milk as their first preference. So that was my conclusion. And then like seminar is super like, research is super centered around like implications and stuff, because the whole idea is that you have to create a new understanding of something. And so my understanding was that like milk exists in schools and students wish they didn't have to drink it. Kind of. That's sort of the summarized version.
I mean, school milk, like in those cartons, is just kind of gross though.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not good.
I wish I brought home those surveys because I left them in my classroom in my AP research class, and I didn't take it home because I was like, I don't need to take it home. And then, Corona. And so those responses were like by far the funniest things I've ever read. Like I mean,
fifth graders are hilarious though.
Yeah, they like two of them were like, the milk is chunky, we want lemonade. And I was like, this is hilarious. Obviously,
that's such a mood.
They wrote the same response. I was like, this is an example of how they're colluding with each other and literally telling each other the same answers. But school milk, like, and also fun fact, I have only had strawberry milk once and I didn't really like it. And I'm not the biggest, like if I have to drink milk, I don't drink like chocolate milk. I'm a white milk.
Chocolate milk is so good though.
I don't get it. Isn't it just like syrup and like
I mean, my sister to this day still makes chocolate milk. Like she will use our milk, use chocolate syrup, and just like make chalky milk, as Harrison said. I
really don't understand the appeal of flavored milk. Like I just don't. I like there's like TikToks. Sorry, I'm a chief TikTok.
Brandon is our TikTok king.
I am the chief. So I love talking about TikToks, right? But there's so many of those like strawberry, like you mix strawberry like syrup into milk, and that looks kind of good. Not gonna lie.
But you don't like strawberry milk?
The cartons of like that Borden Farms, whoever like the big dairy companies are, like all of their cartons of strawberry milk just taste like super weird to me. I don't know. Are
you really ripping on the dairy industry to me right now, Brandon?
All of your representatives and senators and governor, I'm going to be honest, like most of the Midwest, like all of them lobby. Like, I don't know if y'all know Amy Klobuchar, who ran for president. She was part of the like lobbying to make a tomato a vegetable. So in 2008, if you got ketchup, it counted as a vegetable. Like, the school is like, you have to take a vegetable.
In my middle school, tater tots counted as a vegetable.
Which is like
very funny.
Wrong. And kids, I don't know, like my school didn't.
It makes no sense to me that like people cared that much about school lunches. And I understand like the whole like Michelle Obama led the campaign for healthier school lunches. Which I think, like she had great intentions, and then a lot of people really opposed it, but to oppose it like that hard was just like really, I don't know, just really funny to me. We're not going to get into politics right now, but yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know, like AP research gives you a lot of flexibility, but even seminar, I think you get the chance to talk about really cool issues, or not like cool issues, and that issues that aren't talked about a lot. I don't want to have a Dylan moment where I say things are good when they're not good. Sorry. He's not even here to defend him.
He's not.
So Dylan he took Lang, he took socials, he took micro, and he took research, and he hasn't been at any of my
I was going to say he hosted the histories one.
Right. And so I was like, I'm kind of disrespected that he's not here in the audience, but that's okay.
Yeah.
No offense to you.
Yeah.
All
you
right.
can watch the replay.
Here we go.
Okay, Allie, I'm ready.
Yeah, talk about your experience at the seminar.
Okay. My seminar and my Lang teacher are the same teacher, and I love him to death. And it's very woke class. You learn a lot about you learn a lot. Anywho, so Brandon, I'm pretty sure you did like mock IRRs and mock individual presentations in seminar. And I don't know about you, but I always did better on my mock. I feel like I did better on my mock IRR than I did my actual IRR.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna just be honest with you, the IRR was just a mess. The whole presentation was a mess. When they canceled all the presentations, I was really happy for the team part.
Yeah.
But like the individual one, I get super passionate about the individual one.
Right.
So passionate. I'm just like, no, this is the right answer.
Really popping off.
Yeah. My mock individual one was about, should we abolish the Federal Reserve?
Mm-hmm.
I debated, let's just say that went for 13 minutes, way over the time limit. Anywho, this year's stimulus packet was really, really close to like happiness, which was really weird. Personally, I was not appreciative of the stimulus at all.
Yeah.
Last year, in my opinion, got way better stimulus than this year, because I was just like, how do I connect my love of econ with happiness? And obviously you can say money doesn't buy happiness or money buys happiness, but like you blatantly can't say that. So
yeah,
I chose to talk about the universal basic income. And I was just really passionate about that. Did I submit my essay at the last minute? Maybe. Did I do it at the last minute? Maybe. But you know, that's okay, because I was studying for other exams. And I'm just literally just trying to say, it's a fun class. If you have it, please take it. I don't know how AP research is going to go for next year, if we're all going to be at home. I don't know. I mean, I could probably do what Dylan did this year and just do film analysis. But
Dylan used the same like 4 words so many times in his essay.
Editing the essay, I was just like,
I counted. Well, actually, I didn't count. I used Control F, but I was like, Dylan, you used the word alienation 52 times in 21 pages.
Yeah. And like, here's the thing, right? I'm not gonna like say that I didn't use milk more than 100 times, but you can only use milk and dairy like 5. Like there are no other like
synonyms.
Yeah, but it's a really fun class. I hate when I see seminar kids not take research because they're like, oh, it's a 5,000 word research paper, because the capstone.
But you have forever to work on it.
Yeah, and it's really not bad because you write it all in chunks. At least that's how my teacher did it. Like, I feel so bad for the kids who are writing their literature reviews in March, because we wrote all of our literature review in September, wrote our methods in October, we did it all in chunks and then put it all together in April. So I was just like, I was living my life because I wrapped up the paper, but just needed to make like silly grammar fixes, which when I submitted, I still noticed I had after I submitted, I checked and I was like, whoops. And so whatever, we're living my, it's great.
What's really funny to me, like when AP Lang at my school, they changed the curriculum a lot this year, but when I took it last year, we wrote a research paper. It wasn't 5,000 words. It was like 10 pages. So still much bigger than anything we had done. And it was funny because like the prompt was just anything that is an injustice or an inhumanity.
Oh.
Which is, I mean, a lot of people did really like heavy topics, you know, like racism, like LGBTQ community, like sex trafficking, like a lot of heavy stuff. And I mean, I wrote mine on education, and I know a lot of people thought it was on crack, but it was a really fun paper to write because it was something I was really passionate about.
Wait, Samantha, was that the paper that you shared? In Slack?
I've plugged it so many times in Slack.
I loved it.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, it was so well written.
Thank you. Thank you.
So well written. Yeah, a seminar, for our school, it's a lot easier to do research papers or go into AP research, because at our school we have this, after you take AP Chem, you're eligible to take this like advanced science class. And so they're essentially doing like a whole research project first semester, and you learn OChem second semester, which is what I'm doing this year. And so a lot of kids, and they just make the excuse that like, oh my God, research takes too much time. Like literally, if they don't know what to research, they can literally just take that class and do all their research in the science class, which I think is really, it's kind of upsetting that people who don't take AP research is because it's too much of a time commitment. It just shows that they have poor time management. Like that's the real tea.
Right.
But this year's seminar, I thoroughly enjoyed it because it was a class. Did you think it was a GPA killer, Brandon? For us, at our school, it's like a GPA booster.
Oh, it's a killer. It was a killer, but now it's a booster because my teacher was, I'm so sorry. Like my way of learning seminar is the best way because we had an APA test where we had to write APAs. Like we had to pick the best APA citation. We had to like evaluate credibility. Like we like handled all of it in our concept.
Allie and I are just no.
Tell you, like we had to annotate the stimulus, like stimulus, whatever, all of the stimulus materials. And we had to write out how they link to all of the lenses. So let me tell you, my analysis is great, but that class, like, and I'm going to be honest, it was a GPA booster for me at the end of the day because our teacher was like a freshman human geo teacher and she was super, super nice. Like she gave us, before every test, we had a review. If you did the review, you get 10 points on the test. And she square root curves it after she adds the 10 points. And I'm like, this is great. And so like, most kids got high 90s, except for the kids who did not study or didn't do the review, and they would get like 70s. But it was it's traumatizing.
I mean, you always have those people.
Yeah.
Right. My seminar teacher, all he did, I've talked to so many seminar kids and it's like, yeah, we did so many of these like APA tests. We did all of these tests. People even took tests over the stimulus packet. Mm-hmm. My teacher literally was the kind of like the very political, non-political teacher. So he would kind of base his political views through articles. So every single day we look at a new article, analyze it, and then get to work, which was kind of not busy work, but like we never did any of the tests. Only grades were participation, whether it was completion checks. And then our mock stuff, I loved all the mock stuff. It was so much fun. Did I hate my teammates? Yes. I just can't, like, I just can't with people. Just if you have, like, especially, that's why I was so glad when I took away presentations. Because I'm not saying our presentation was bad. It was just, you could definitely tell who was more passionate and who put in more work. Right. And the way that, like, the rubric is scored, it's like either some of them did it, or most of them did it, or, like, none of them did it. And I was just like, it's kind of crap because, you know, people are sacrificing their scores for somebody else's mistake. But I'm glad that it wasn't as big of a percentage. I definitely had a lot more fun with my IWA. It was really, really fun to like synthesize all of the information and just see how everything kind of connects. Also, I will say this, if you take seminar, just take it with a grain of salt. Take it with something that you're looking forward to, because I feel like a lot of people don't take seminar. They take it at my school for a GPA boost. But if you take it just at the end of the day, take away the research skills, understanding analysis. That was a phenomenal class to take with AP Lang because you use the skills in both classes. But I'm really excited for research. Let's hope the COVID world tour ends soon. So we can.
Do you want to write your paper on?
See, I want to do something about Econ because
You should write it proving that DECA is better than FPLA.
Oh.
That's my challenge to you.
Oh my God. And if I fail, then we know College Board is biased.
There we go.
Exactly.
Think about it.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, seminar's like a roller coaster. Like we did so much. Like I just like never stopped doing work in that class. Like that the first time I ever used Trello was in seminar because we outlined a paper on Trello. We had to write we had to literally like put sources and then attach a Word doc that evaluated that source's credibility. Like it was insane. But I just everything was so like micromanaged that it wasn't too bad for me because I literally had the essay written on a Trello, but I just had to turn it into like analysis. And research was just different because everyone was doing something different. Our teachers couldn't help. So having like an expert advisor was helpful. And also, if y'all have like seminar and research, I know there was a school that reached out to me that gives, I think, a half ride, maybe a full ride if you get the Capstone Diploma.
What?
Yeah, but it's in Switzerland. So if you want to travel abroad,
I'm not seeing any cons here.
Franklin University, Switzerland. If you take like 4 other AP classes, they give you a bunch of scholarship money. So check that out. Add it to your list to schools that you're applying to, because they sent me so many emails about the Capstone scholarship. I was like, sorry, I can't go abroad for 4 years.
Do you get a Capstone diploma if you do both classes, or do you have to pass?
You have to also pass 4 AP exams. Otherwise, you get like a certificate, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay,
4
gotcha.
AP exams plus research seminar. But if you fail either seminar or research, you don't get the certificate, or you don't get the diploma, period. Which is
so you have to get the diploma, you have to pass both, and you have to pass 4 other AP exams.
Yes.
That's a lot.
It's kind of
a lot.
But I feel like if you're taking seminar and research, you've probably already taken other AP classes.
Right.
And you're probably
do they still do that? Because I know they took away some AP awards, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Capstone Diploma isn't technically an award. It will stay forever, I think. But I know they're getting rid of like AP State Scholar or whatever after.
Oh, that's right. Because they still have like the Scholar with honors, with distinction. They still have those, right?
Yep.
Okay, because I remember I jokingly looked up like what I would need on my exams this year to like keep my award, and I was like, as if I care, as if this award means anything to my life.
Right.
But yeah, I wasn't sure if they were getting rid of those or not.
Are they getting rid of National AP Scholar?
I think so. I think they're getting rid of the national and the state.
I thought it was after this year, but I don't know. I think Trevor can confirm that. So I DM him.
Okay.
Yeah. And they don't give us rewards. Yeah, you just get a fancy medal on my.
Yeah, like it's bragging rights. I think I like wrote that down on one like scholarship application because it specifically asked for those kind of awards, and I was like, oh, I do technically have that. But other than that, it has literally, I didn't even win the scholarship, so it has actually done nothing for me.
Yeah, scholarships are a struggle.
Oh, they really are. Brandon and I were ranting about that earlier.
I agree, Harrison. There's like a study that showed that after taking 4 APs, your success in college levels out. So it's like a carrying capacity. All right. I have something to go to. Actually, it started a minute ago. That's completely okay. I'm always late to these events and things like that. But thank you so much for coming up and talking to us, Allie, twice, actually.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. With my favorite 2 people.
Much fun.
And if any of y'all took world languages, please come tomorrow. Otherwise, I will literally be sitting by myself about my experience. And I don't want that. So languages, feel free to come tomorrow. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for us. Thank y'all so much for coming, and see ya.
Thanks, guys.